All right, so a little help with your test review. So hopefully things are going well for you there at home. So the first one is, and this was 1C, we have to find the distance between these 2 points. So anytime we want to find the distance between 2 points, we can think of this as one of two ways. The way that I like to think about it is we can take one of the points and we can take the other point, and then we always subtract to find out how far apart they are. And we got to find the absolute value of it because it always has to be positive. So here's what this is going to look like. So we take one of the points, so negative 38.9, and the other point is negative 7.3. All right, so now we've taken the 2 points, we put them in here. Remember, we always put a subtraction between them, or an opposite of between them. And so now we go through and do the math. The opposite of a negative 7.3 is a positive 7.3. Now notice how we have the signs are different. So now we're going to subtract. So when I take my 38.9 and my 7.3, and I make sure I line out my decimals, we subtract because the signs are different. That becomes a 6. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 3. So this now becomes 31.6. The biggest number is negative, so my answer is negative. And then remember, these are in absolute value. So absolute value, remember the numbers always come out positive. So this is going to be a 31.6 positive. So the key to this is anytime I want to find the distance between 2 points, we always take the 2 points, we subtract, and then we take the absolute value. All right, and that's what we did here. Also, if you want to think about this, it might be a different way to think about it that maybe is helpful to you. If we were to draw a number line, here would be 0, here would be negative 7.3, here would be negative 38.9, and we have to find out how far apart these numbers are from each other. And once again, anytime I'm trying to find out how far apart these numbers are from each other, we subtract. So it's 38.9, negative, and we're going to subtract negative 7.3. And so once again, we switch the signs, which means we actually subtract here. So hopefully that helps with question 1C. Let's see, the next one is we got to simplify this. All right. So order of operations, we always do parentheses first. I don't see any parentheses to work inside of here. Then we do exponents. Don't see any exponents here. Then we multiply or divide. And in this one, we actually have two of them. We have division and multiplication. And so we always go from left to right if we have both of them. So if I do this from left to right, that means I'm going to do this first. All right, so let's see. So I have 17.5, and I'm going to divide that by a 7. That's negative. All right, 7 goes into 17 twice. That's a 14. Subtract, I get 3. My decimal always goes straight up my answer. Drop down my 5. 7 goes into 35 5 times with no remainder. So my answer to this division is 2.5. And remember the signs were different. So it's a negative 2.5. And then I'm going to rewrite everything I haven't used yet. All right, so I'm rewriting everything. I'm just dropped. So this is that answer. I dropped down my plus sign, my negative 8, and my 2. Now when I look at this line, once again, my order of operation, no parentheses to work inside of, no exponents. I do have some multiplication division right there. So negative 8 times 2, well, 8 times 2 is 16. The signs are different, so it's negative. And then I have dropping and rewriting everything else. So the last thing I have is a negative number and a negative number combined. So I'm going to add those. Notice, though, I need to line up my decimal. So even though there's not a decimal in the 16, remember, it's always all the way to the right. So when I do this, 2.5 and 16, and then I have to line them up. And then you go through and you can now add those two problems. So hopefully that helps. Let's see here. The last question you had is 6 divided by -8. So we can think of this two different ways. One way is, remember, this is also a fraction. 6 divided by -8. And if I do it that way, I know that the top goes inside and the bottom goes outside. Or if you know how to write this with division, we can do the exact same thing. So this is 6 divided by -8. So however you want to think about it, we still get ourselves to a division box. Let's see. Decimal 0, because 8 doesn't go into 6. 8 goes into 60 now, 7 times. That is 56. Subtract, I get a 4. Drop down a 0. 8 goes into 40 now, 5 times. So my answer is, the signs are different, so it's a -0.75 when I do 6 divided by -8. All right, hopefully that helps.